I don't know him personally.
But like, do you know
But
what he did?
I've read about what he did. You know, um, winning, right? Taking part in the Olympic Games, and you know, in an environment that wasn't very welcoming to him. Yeah. I I just think that Jesse Owens didn't have to prove himself to be accepted by another human being. Had he come last in all of those events, would he still, you know, why would he be in a position where he has to earn the right to be considered a human being? You understand what I'm saying? I mean, Jesse, what he was asking for was a civil right. You know what that means? To be treated with civility. Wasn't asking for a favor. So it's a really difficult question, Sukyong. I think that at the end of the day, he didn't win in the sense that he had to prove himself. And nobody should ever be put in a place where you have to earn a handshake from another person to prove that you're a human being. That, oh, you've proved. You shouldn't be in that position.
In general.
I think in general it's still quite prevalent in society. It's something that hasn't disappeared or gone away. I think it's definitely a result of just kind of our sinful being, of our desire to put ourselves first and going against God's command of loving your neighbor as yourself. I think it's obviously still a hot topic in culture and society today, and I think it'll probably remain, unfortunately, a topic and an issue for many years to come. No, I think obviously Hitler was wrong, and his ideas, his theories on discrimination and putting one group ahead of another. I think if we look into the Bible, God created us all as equal beings and all in His image, and to put somebody ahead of somebody else goes contrary to that idea.
Jesse Owens, also known as the Buckeye Bullet, was born on September 12, 1913, in Oakville, Alabama. In high school, he won 3 track and field events at the 1933 National Interscholastic Championships. 2 years later, while competing for Ohio State University, he equaled one world record and broke 3 others. Jesse Owens is widely known prominently for his achievements of the 4 medals where he succeeded in winning throughout the Summer Olympics that was held in Germany in 1936. His popularity then began to spread across the world. This was the outcome of the 4 medals that he has received during the Summer Olympics in just a week. Owens died from cancer on March 31st, 1980.
Racial discrimination is when a person is treated less favorably than another person in a similar situation because of a particular race, color, descent, national or ethnic origin, or immigrant status. America is a country that has struggled with race relations throughout its history and still does today. CNN and Kaiser Family Foundation conducted a nationwide poll in 2015 which revealed that 49% of Americans think racism as a big problem in today's society. However, it doesn't seem to getting better. A majority of Black people say that they have experienced racial discrimination in their lifetimes. They have been treated unfairly because of their ethnicity or race. Segregation also happens until today, both at home and work. Work colleagues, neighborhood, and social circle were mostly white. Hitler viewed the Jews and blacks as a dangerous race and threat to Germanic race. In the beginning, when Hitler and the Nazis took over of Germany, the Jews were molested and killed. The businesses were harassed and destroyed by Nazi organizations. In 1935, Nuremberg laws were a landmark event where the Jews got segregated from the Germans. As a Chancellor of Germany, Adolf Hitler was really obsessed with ideas about race. He believed in racial purity and the superiority of the Germanic race. He believed that the races should not be mixed, and greatness comes from the German people. The ideal Aryan was blonde, tall, and blue-eyed, which is really different from Owens' appearance. When they gained power, their beliefs were spread fast, publicly and displayed posters, movies, newspapers, and the radio. Their beliefs led to becoming the government ideology. Restricting the reproduction of people considered lower in status or inferior could improve human race. German physicians also performed operations such as forced sterilizations to make it impossible for the victims having children. The Jews were also viewed as a poisonous race that weakened other races. They were humiliated in front of public together with the blacks by the Nazis and Hitler. At the Berlin 1936 Olympics, Hitler planned to show the world that the Aryan people were the dominant race. He snubbed a black American athlete named Cornelius Johnson in the first day of the meet. However, Jesse Owens proved him wrong by sealing his place in Olympic history and becoming the most successful athlete of the 1936 Games.
Jesse Owens' achievement destroyed Hitler's idea of white supremacy. People are superior to those of all other races, especially the black race, and should therefore dominate society. Jesse Owens destroyed white supremacy as he won 4 gold medals in track and field events among white peoples. In August 3, 1936, he won the 100-meter sprint, August 4th the long jump, August 5th the 200-meter sprint, and the August 9th he won the 4 times 100-meter relay, which was his 4th achievement in the Olympic. By proving that black people can achieve something and that they are good in certain topics, it has changed and destroyed the Hitler's idea of white supremacy. On the first day of Olympic, Hitler only had a handshake with German athletes, and Hitler did not want to comment that Jesse Owens is a good athlete. After Jesse Owens' 4th achievement in Olympic, he finally agreed and took the fact Jesse is a good athlete. Not only influencing Hitler to change his mind of black people, Jesse Owens also influenced white people not to discriminate black people, but approving black people and to treat them as normal people. Jesse Owens' achievement amazed many people. Hitler, he was also amazed at Jesse Owens' abilities. On the first day of Olympic, Hitler shook hands only with the German victors and left the stadium. Hitler opted for the latter and skipped all further medal presentations. On reports that Hitler had deliberately avoided acknowledging Jesse Owens' victories and had refused to shake Jesse Owens' hand. However, Owens said at the time, Hitler had a certain time to come to the stadium and a certain time to leave. It happened he had to leave before the victory ceremony after the 100 meters. But before he left, I was on my way to a broadcast and passed near his box. He waved at me and I waved back. I think it was bad taste to criticize the man of the hour in another country. Hitler felt scared that people will not respect Hitler anymore due to shaking hands with black people. He celebrated Owens' achievement privately and behind the camera. Owen also stated that Hitler didn't snub him, but it was FDR who snubbed Owens. The president didn't send him a telegram of congrats, but Hitler sent Owens a commemorative inscribed cabinet photograph of himself. Owen had a photograph of Hitler and himself being together, which Owen kept in his wallet. After surpassing a record of achievement, Jesse Owens was not given a single congratulatory message. Although I wasn't invited to shake hands with Hitler, I wasn't invited to the White House to shake hands with the president either. With this being said, the press reported that the one who ignored him was actually the German leader. However, some said that Hitler gave a friendly little Nazi salute to Owens and sent a telegram. When Owens came back to America, he was not even requested to go to the White House so that he could shake hands with the president, while the Olympians that are white got the chance to do such honorable thing. Owens, along with his mother, then went to a formal social occasion that is not presidential in respect. Although people in Germany hated him a lot, he still did his best, which resulted in his victory. Jesse Owens' achievements have impacted Germany by marking a humiliation for them. The prediction of winners from Hitler were wrong, and several black men left the Olympics with a considerable amount of medals. With the participation of crowds of Americans in the Olympics, it is still reckoned to be a damage to the US Olympic Committee's background. During the time that a great deal of Americans disapproved the participation of US in the Nazi Olympics, a lot of people had already known about the freeness of Germans' discrimination in opposition to the Jews as well as the non-Aryans. The arrivals of US contribution took the American ambassadors into account to Germany, also Austria. Even so, people that are saying that Hitler and his people would utilize the games in the Olympics for the motive of getting information did not win the fight in having the US embargo, the Berlin Olympiad. But Jesse Owens' reception by the German public and the spectators in the Olympic Stadium was warm. There were German cheers of Jesse Owens or just Owens from the crowd. Owens was a true celebrity in Berlin, mobbed by autograph seekers to the point that he complained about all the attention. He later claimed that his reception in Berlin was greater than any other had ever experienced, and he had been quite popular even before the Olympics.
Cuba. Jesse Owens, the ebony streak of Olympic Games, celebrates turning professional by racing against a horse. Jesse had a start of 40 yards in 100 and he won by inches. So what?
Said the only bond worth anything between human beings is their humaneness. He meant that humans share a common bond, which is humanity, and therefore every human should treat each other equally. He became world known and very successful. In 20 years after the Olympics, fame struck Jesse. He received awards, became very successful and world known. Jesse Owens left a legacy at the 1936 Berlin Olympics 80 years ago, when he demolished Adolf Hitler's myth of Aryan supremacy as a result of winning 4 gold medals.